Hello, my name is Tony Meyer, and I serve as the chair of the Macaulay Honors College Foundation Board. I've served under some tremendous deans of Macaulay, Laura Shore, Ann Kirshner, and most recently, Mary Pearl. Mary brought tremendous innovations to the college itself and to our community, including the Bridge Transfer Program, whereby some of our students were able to transfer in from community colleges in the CUNY system.
You created and championed the Macaulay Transfer Program, which gave students who did not know about Macaulay in high school a chance to transfer in. You were also extremely supportive on an initiative that I helped organize, the Macaulay CUNY Hackathon, which happened twice and brought together students across CUNY campuses in order to help and try to solve problems.
She just inspired us in so many ways, along with the founder, to keep chasing after our dreams and to continue to study and work hard.
Mary created and sourced the funding for robust health and wellness programming for our students. And under her leadership, we greatly expanded the career development offerings for students and our graduates.
Career Services at Macaulay has been instrumental in opening my eyes to the plethora of industries and jobs out there and in guiding me through the process of exploring what exactly I want to do in my career.
Mary also tirelessly lobbied CUNY Central to secure additional funding for STAR faculty positions.
I've had the opportunity to put together some interesting classes that students want to take because they can't usually get them in their disciplines on campus. One of these is a class that I team teach with a physician from New York Presbyterian Weill Cornell about issues in medical ethics.
A few years ago, I got asked by the Morgan Library to curate an exhibit on Walt Whitman, and we worked really hard to bring that experience into the classroom and to share it with the students. And it happened all over again this year when a class about the Roosevelts, Franklin, Eleanor, Theodore Roosevelt, was created in a partnership with the FDR Presidential Library, and Mary really helped to set that up.
We've enjoyed terrific growth of our foundation board during Dean Pearl's years. We've added 12 new board members, including 5 recruited from our own graduates. We launched the Opportunities Gala, which raised more than $700,000 to support experiential learning at Macaulay. I'm very pleased to have been asked to speak about Mary's tenure with us. It was very successful, very effective, very enjoyable, and I think you can see the results of her time with us in terms of its impact on the foundation, in terms of its impact on the college, and perhaps most importantly, its impact on our kids, the students who are the stars of the Macaulay Honors College system.
Good evening, everyone, both here in the Macaulay Lecture Hall and those joining us live via Zoom. We are delighted to be launching Macaulay's 20th anniversary year with a special tribute to the Dean Pearl years. I'm Sarah Louie, and I'm a proud graduate of the class of 2017, and I'm especially pleased to be here to celebrate Dean Mary C. Pearl, whose tenure as Macaulay's third dean began during my senior year. However, my time getting to know Dean Pearl started when she was provost and as interim dean. I served as Macaulay's first student body president, and I had the very daunting task of trying to implement a new structure for how the Scholars Council would run and how it would work with that administration. But I was soon impressed by how much Dean Pearl put students first and really kept an open line of communication between me and her. We met often to discuss ways to ensure students' voices were being heard, and making sure that all students had the support that they needed. She was a major piece of paving the way to ensure that the Scholars Council played a larger part of the Macaulay community. And up until her last day as dean, she met monthly with each of the council presidents. Dean Pearl put a big emphasis on student opportunities, which you'll soon hear more about. I'm particularly happy to have been working with her on sustainability efforts and taking part in many sustainability abroad trips that she helped coordinate. One of my proudest accomplishments while as a student at Macaulay was launching Macaulay Splash. This was an initiative to bring college students to teach self-run classes to high school students across New York City. With Dean Pearl's helps and connection in making sure that we had the resources that we needed, we were able to provide a successful event right here in the Macaulay building, where over 40 college students from across the 8 campuses came together to teach over 70 students across New York City. There is so much that I am grateful for the impact that Dean Pearl had on my college experience and the experiences of all students at Macaulay. And from the outset, Dean Pearl demonstrated a deep commitment to the overall well-being of students. And in fact, she made wellness an integral part of the Macaulay experience. And I really just want to show a big thank you to Dean Pearl for all that she has done. And I'd like to please invite Christian Bonamassa, who graduated in 2020, to speak more about wellness initiatives.
Thank you, Sarah. Wellness. For many people, that word has become a euphemism for counseling or therapy. But Dean Pearl embraced a much broader notion. True, Macaulay students facing difficulties could get direct support or referrals for counseling at our recently expanded Wellness Center. But the wellness initiative that Dean Pearl launched took a much broader view at supporting all students. She established a culture that made students feel comfortable embracing the Macaulay community and encouraged us students to support each other as well. As co-founder of the Macaulay Italian Cultural Society, we would host a pizza and perseverance event each spring to allow students to escape from studying and to share their experiences and to eat pizza as well, of course. Very important. As we all know, starting college can be one of the most intimidating times of our lives. Under Dean Pearl's leadership, the Peer Mentor program for first-year students was immensely expanded. And I was proud to volunteer as an orientation leader, as many of the other students you'll hear from today as well. We would then become a resource to the students throughout the year as they would navigate their first year of the college experience. Finally, Macaulay made wellness a clear priority through its actions. As a member of the Macaulay Scholars Council, I had the opportunity to work with student development in running many finals wellness events, which always had a great turnout and would often encourage students to frequent the Macaulay building throughout final season. Overall, I always felt supported by a plethora of wellness resources and a very welcoming community led by Dean Pearl. I'll always be grateful to her and Macaulay for a great 4 years. Thank you very much.
As dean of one of the top honors colleges in the nation, Dean Pearl had an unwavering commitment to the academic program. Karina Duro, currently in her senior year, will share some of her experiences with Macaulay's inspiring faculty.
Hi everyone, my name is Karina Durso and I'm a current senior at Brooklyn College, Macaulay. During my freshman year at Macaulay, I was fortunate enough to have taken a course with the wonderful Professor Ted Whitmer, who you heard from before and who's here with us today, who is a distinguished lecturer at the college as well as an esteemed author and historian. This course, titled Whitman's New York, propelled me into an incredible summer of discovering, exploring, and knowing the poet of Brooklyn, Walt Whitman. During the course, we had riveting class discussions in small groups right here at the Macaulay building, where we connected the life and work of the poet with our own experiences, as well as with contemporary social issues. Additionally, Professor Whitmer guided us through cultural institutions across New York City. Alongside esteemed curators and librarians, we reviewed archival texts and rare books, and Whitman's work came alive in front of us, really transcending time. During this time, Professor Whitmer was also curating an exhibition at the Morgan Library Museum, And our class was fortunate enough to have explored the making of this exhibition alongside him, which was really spectacular. Knowing my personal affinity for art and museums, Professor Widmer invited me to serve as a tour guide for this exhibition. So I had the opportunity to welcome a group of LGBTQ elderly people to the museum for a tour of this exhibition, and it sparked within me a keen interest in community outreach and engagement. So I embraced this summer of Whitmania, attending relevant events across the city at museums and even theaters, and I also had the opportunity to shadow a class at Columbia University. With his encouragement, I was moved to share the story of this extraordinary poet with my own community, and I curated a Whitman-themed art exhibition in the reading room next door, featuring a fantastic array of multimedia art of Macaulay students. So now that I am a senior at the college, I am really lucky to say that Professor Widmer has continued to really serve as my mentor throughout my academic journey. He has constantly been my advocate, inspiring me to foster a passion for museum education and art history. And my experience at the Morgan Library was also a critical aspect of my early career and internships journey, really propelling me to intern at other museums, including the Metropolitan Museum of Art, where I'm currently interning. So I'm incredibly grateful to have experienced such mentorship, and I have both Ted Widmer and Dean Pearl to thank for these invaluable experiences. Thank you so much.
Professor Widmer is clearly an exceptional faculty member, and he exemplifies the kind of accomplished scholars, writers, and scientists whom Dean Pearl brought to Macaulay. In fact, during the Dean Pearl years, Macaulay grew its faculty from just one, Professor Lizzie Reese, to 7 professors across a range of disciplines. Professor Reese will now share her perspective in this tremendous growth.
Hi, Mary. I hope you're enjoying California. I think what characterized your time at Macaulay is your can-do attitude. Anything I ever wanted to do, if I brought it to your attention, your response was essentially, we'll get it done. And I think that this is best exemplified in the fact that we now have 4 new faculty members. It's just incredible that you got that to happen. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I just started working with some of them, and it's going to completely change Macaulay for the better. And you've always been so focused on the students, and I think that this is going to make their experience at Macaulay just that much better than it already is. So thank you, Mary, for that.
Not only did Dean Pearl expand the faculty, she also expanded our student body. Through the Bridge Scholars Program, high-achieving community college students were welcomed into Macaulay. Carlos Perez Valle, now a doctoral candidate at McGill University, will share his experience as a member of the first cohort of Bridge Scholars.
Hi everyone, bonjour à tous, as they say here, because I am greeting you live from Montreal, or Montreal as we say in English. My name is Carlos Perez Valle, or you can call me Carlos. I am one of the students who were part of the first Bridge program, and I have to say first because now there's officially a second Bridge cohort in Macaulay. And I want to give a special shout out and a special thank you to Dean Pearl, who was a pioneer in making this possible, making sure that there was a pathway for community college students to form part of Macaulay. And a very special thank you, not just for allowing us to form part of this community, but for feeling like we belonged and making us feel included. I remember back in my early days as a Bridge Scholar, where there was that transition of getting acclimated to the Macaulay, where I think we were all doubtful, and there was a lot of imposter syndrome around us being selected. And I even heard comments from as to why we were selected out of other students from other community colleges, because the first cohort was made up of Bronx Community College students and BMCC students. But despite that, those hesitancies at first, we pulled through, and it's thanks to the work and effort and the team that Dean Pearl spearheaded. So we're super thankful. And so Dean Pearl, as you start as you mark the end of your chapter here at Macaulay, I congratulate you for all the amazing work that you've done. I also thank you for everything that you've done for the community as well. And I wish you all the best as you head off into your next endeavor. So take care. And as they say here, a bientôt.
Dean Pearl was able to expand faculty and bring innovations like the Wellness Center or Bridge Scholars because she knew she could rely on the Foundation Board to spearhead fundraising for Macaulay's core enhancements, especially the Opportunities Fund. During her tenure, she helped to recruit 16 of the Foundation's current board members, including 5 from the ranks of our alumni. Anita Sonawan, who graduated in 2011 and joined the board in March of 2017, is with us tonight to share her perspective on the growth of Macaulay Honors College Foundation Board.
Thank you so much. I just want to begin by thanking Dean Pearl for everything that she's done. And I'm sad that we couldn't have a larger celebration with everyone here, but just wanted to begin by talking a little bit about everything she's done on the board. As we pointed out, there are 5 members of the alumni board, or of the board that are alumni, and that include our treasurer, Tom Burgandy. It includes members like Adiola, James Ganley, Yosef Ibrahimi, and Penny Phillips. We're 5 strong now, which is very exciting, and almost account for a third of the board. And then I also just wanted to highlight that Dean Pearl has brought a lot of individuals who have deep knowledge in education. That includes former school district superintendent Jack Bierwith, who's with us, former New York City Council member Eric Joya, who serves as an adjunct professor for Seminar 4, Amy McIntosh, who has served as senior strategy and policy advisor for local, state, and federal education departments. She's also here. And then also just highlighting other members of the board, which include Steve Phillips, Tony Brown, David Coulter, Steve Goldman, Michael Groman, Elizabeth Macaulay Lewis, Ronnie Stewart, Marcy Sims. But also, most importantly, I just wanted to make a note of the fact that Dean Pearl brought Macaulay into such strong fiscal standing. That is very much her legacy, and it required a lot of effort, and I've had just a great opportunity over the past 3 or 4 years to witness those efforts, and I just want to thank you deeply from the bottom of my heart for making that a possibility for all of our students and for ensuring that the Macaulay legacy continues. I very much believe that is your accomplishment, and I just want to thank you again for that.
Thanks to such a terrific foundation board, Dean Pearl took the college's fundraising to a new level by launching the Opportunities Gala, which raised hundreds of thousands of dollars to support study abroad, internships, and student research. Under Dean Pearl, the gala also featured one of Macaulay's many student clubs, Dewane, who recorded this brief video.
Dewane has definitely changed me. The amount of confidence you get just from being on a dance team of people who are constantly there to support you and back you up is insane, and I will always be so grateful for this team for that.
What I love most about this team is how inclusive we are and how we will take everybody's ideas and display it in the most unconventional way.
We sort of joke that none of us have friends outside of Dewane. We all have friends outside of Dewane, but I feel like there's a different type of connection that happens when you sort of throw yourself into something for this long.
When you work on something throughout the whole year, it's just so beautiful to see how it comes together at the end.
But there are things beyond the dancing. Dancing is only half of it.
My favorite part about being on this team is just the friendships that I've made through it. I know that, the people that I've met from freshman year, sophomore year, junior year will stay with me for the rest of my life.
Everyone that I've known in Divane has inspired me and motivated me to be the best version of myself. So I can definitely say that Divane has changed my life for the good.
Hi, my name is Angelina Jimenez and I'm representing Macaulay Divane. And on behalf of Macaulay Divane, we really want to thank Dean Pearl. And in particular, we want to thank you, Dean Pearl, for everything that you've done to support the Opportunities Fund.
Dean Pearl understood that education is inherently a collaborative community activity. She was a big supporter of student clubs like Divane because she knew they nurtured a strong sense of community across Macaulay's 8 home campuses. For Dean Pearl, the Macaulay Honors community extended well beyond the student body and into the home campuses, and right back into the students' homes with her recognition of the important role that parents play. With us via Zoom is parent Eric Gelb, whose daughter Alana graduated in 2016.
I remember being very impressed hearing Dean Pearl talk about Macaulay's approach to experiential education, not just talking about it, but being very passionate out of the classroom learning experiences, which is near and dear to her heart, and how these experiences can help expand and transform our students' views of the world. And what she said resonated with me so much, and everyone else in the room, that it really drove so many things to follow. As Alana's dad, I know firsthand that her being able to study abroad through Macaulay's Opportunities Fund changed her life in many ways, important and positive ways. She was actually able to do orphanage work in a couple of countries, and she pursued a career in that direction in community service. So it's just remarkable, and I thank you for that personally. That event marked the official launch of Macaulay's Parents Council. And I'd like at this moment to recognize and thank Macaulay Foundation board member Jack Beerworth and his wife Jane Beerworth for their insight and guidance in helping us think about how to put together such a council, which is thriving today. Their experience in leading similar parent councils at other colleges and universities has been invaluable and helped guide our very own Macaulay Honors College Parents Council. When a core group of Macaulay parents got together to talk about the mission and goals of the Parents Council, Dean Pearl was instrumental from day one, supporting our efforts as to how we could best serve our students, our parents, and the larger college and even New York City community. Dean Pearl was the inspiration for our wanting to work on school-related issues that keep Dean Pearl up at night. And now, several years later, with more than 130 Macaulay families as members in the Parents Council, our committees are partnering with the college in areas related to student recruitment, student wellness, career development, and community building. And Dean Pearl's enthusiasm and insight and warm heart really helped drive that and help build out our community, which you're seeing in the growth and maturation of our college. So we've seen an increase in parent giving, which is great. It funds the Opportunities Fund, and the number of parent donors to Macaulay, thanks in large part to the generosity of the Parents Council members, and this directly supports our educational programs. No way could we have achieved any of this without Dean Pearl's encouragement, participation, and tireless contributions. So Dean Pearl, on behalf of Macaulay's Parents Council, thank you so very much for your wisdom, commitment, enthusiastic spirit, and warm heart, and great energy.
Over nearly a decade at Macaulay, first as provost and then dean, Mary led the college during a period of tremendous growth and transformation. As a true leader, she did this in collaboration with her colleagues in cabinet, the faculty and staff, the students and parents, and the foundation board. To close out tonight's program, I'd like to welcome Tony Meyer, chair of the foundation board and one of the college's most generous and dedicated supporters.
Good evening. I'm Tony Meyer, the chair of the board of the Macaulay Honors College Foundation. I was very much looking forward to being with you all tonight to celebrate, and I'm deeply disappointed that last-minute family obligations prevent me from being at Macaulay Central to honor Dean Pearl. Hi, Mary. Welcome. Tonight, you've heard a lot about the college's achievements during Mary's tenure. New educational programming, more faculty and board members, a stronger Macaulay community, greater student opportunities, and increased fundraising. These successes have each and collectively all contributed to making Macaulay an even better nationally recognized honors college, both for our current students and alumni and for future generations of honor scholars at CUNY. A focus on the future has been one of the hallmarks of Mary's seasoned leadership. She kept at the top of her priorities the college's future sustainability. And throughout all 5 years of her tenure, she delivered balanced budgets, provided full and transparent accountability of the college's finances, and more than doubled our donor base. And she did all of this with an eye toward providing an even better education, not only for our current students, but future ones as well. To thank Mary for her many years of service to the college and for her tireless commitment to the students, I am pleased to announce that the Foundation Board has created and permanently endowed a new Mary C. Pearl Enhanced Opportunities Fund. This fund will award at least one Enhanced Opportunities Fund grant worth as much as $3,000 every year to a student or students who demonstrate the kind of community building, future-looking leadership that Mary embodied during her years as our dean. Mary, I'm sorry I'm not with you tonight, but since you were able to get there from California to be here tonight, perhaps you'd like to have the last word?
Well, gosh, I'm really so tickled, so pleased to know that I'm being honored in this way, that I can't think of a more wonderful gift than to know that into the future there will always be a student who will have an enhanced opportunity to have the kind of transformative experience that is a hallmark of Macaulay. All of you better come to the gala on May 19th, because we're going to raise even more money for more opportunities. I think that, I hope you're not funny because I need to get down there because I have a few other things I want to say. I always talk about Macaulay as being a place of access and transformation. Access for anybody who's willing to achieve at the highest levels, no matter what their background or income. Macaulay is here to provide the resources of all kinds for success. For me, I also feel that I had wonderful access to the world of public education. I'm strongly committed to it. I'm currently spending the year at Stanford, which is a private university with tremendous resources, but I look at them and think, oh gosh, what would Macaulay students do with such support? So I guess I'm in my own transformation from dean to major booster of everything Macaulay. I am really happy to be watching from afar as the programs continue. I was just talking to Professor Widmer. Thanks so much for the tribute you gave to him, Corinna. And he's saying, you know, how exciting it is to have new faculty members, as Lizzie said. And I've talked with some of them. I remember just meeting Norelle Edwards at an alumni event, and she told me she was finishing up her dissertation at the University of Maryland. And I said, wouldn't it be wonderful if you became the first Macaulay professor who's a Macaulay alum? And so I just was so happy that the stars aligned and that could happen. So yeah, looking to the future, everything looks great. And I want to thank in particular two board members who have been such partners in looking forward and achieving growth. And that's Tony Meyer, of course, a wonderful partner. We spoke every week. I never had to sugarcoat anything. When things are bad, I said things are bad. When things are great, I said, let's celebrate. And also a wonderful partner was Ann Lindberg as chairman of the development committee. She always, at every board member, was there to remind everyone that we could all really get excited about all the programs, but ultimately it was up to the board, the responsibility for creating the kind of enhanced opportunities that our Macaulay students deserved. But every single board member, you know I love you because I invited most of you onto the board. And it's just been a pleasure, and it's such a pleasure to see going into the future how committed everyone continues to be. And finally, I just want to say one of the things that I loved about being dean at Macaulay was bringing in so many Macaulay grads. I mentioned Norelle Edwards, but also Joseph Pendangelo, also with the Teaching and Learning Collaboratory. And then Corinna Singelman, who is a campus director now, and Chris Calley, who is with the student development staff. And then everyone's mentioned all the board members who are grads. I want to give a special call out to Anita Sanawane, who has been so actively instrumental in making links for us, like between the FDR library, for example, so that Ted could have his Roosevelt course be such an experiential success. And indeed, all the board members, you all are very dear to me. And then finally, what a wonderful staff. Vanessa, I think you're really lucky to have inherited such a group of completely dedicated people. No one works at CUNY to get rich quick. It's all about love of learning, love of our students. And what is very special about Macaulay is it's not just the faculty. Every single staff member knows what an important role each member plays of the team, whether the people who are keeping us safe in the building or making sure our building is so welcoming and clean, or there's people who are working on all aspects of fundraising, external relations, finance, all the ways we enhance the educational experience on the staff side. Everyone works so hard together to make Macaulay a wonderful place, and that's why I continue to be committed and grateful to everyone for continuing to see that vision of access and transformation of New York's finest students. So thanks for this tribute, but really let's have it a joint celebration of all that we celebrated together and what we can see ahead. Thank you.